How's it going, everyone? This is going to be a brief video, hopefully a brief video about some of the core features of the Bloodstained E3 demo that unfortunately I didn't see a lot of people covering it, such as, you know, crafting, enhancing shards, and even cooking. This game has cooking. And the aim of this video to cover these features, since they are, I think they are really important and core features for this game, and people that actually want to doesn't have access to this demo might actually want to know. This is actually really important features that people, especially if there are people that are actually looking to play this game, hopefully in the future, might be interested in actually knowing these features. This video will talk about crafting, cooking, enhancing shards, and dismantling. Yes, we have dismantling. We can sell shards and a lot of things. And we'll about to cover that right away. First thing that I wanted to show you is what you can do in, you know, in home. I assume this is your home base or your I'm sorry, your HQ for now, which you can actually be able to access to, even though there aren't you know, traveling points for now. But probably we'll see one here in the full game. Yeah, you can actually craft, you can cook, you can prepare meals. We'll talk about them. We can enhance shards and dismantle. Like the thing that I want to talk about here about dismantling, that you can dismantle everything in this game. And this is actually kind of a cool feature, since actually you'll find some kind of weapon that drops regularly from some kind of beast, and you might actually find some good use of it later. Probably there's gonna be a way. I think there's gonna be a way to abuse this this feature. But for now, you can't abuse it for one simple reason. The thing is that if you want to dismantle a weapon, you'll require to have, you know, it'll require an item called alchemist. I don't like chemistry. I hate chemistry, and I don't know a lot about it. But they are cool in video games, I guess. But yeah, you'll require alchemist, which I assume it's a type of solvent. Is that what it's called? I don't know. You will need actually a certain number of alchemists, and these alchemists, unfortunately, they will cost you money, and 120 a piece. So sometimes you'll actually, like in the small sword that I wanted to dismantle, actually will give me two bronze material. And the thing is that you can actually buy bronze here for 50, so it's not really a really good investment, isn't it? But who knows? Probably there's a way in the future that you can actually farm alchemists. Maybe you can buy it for cheaper later. Who knows? For now, nobody knows. There's also a really interesting feature here, which is especially these features, by the way, that might be more interesting for those who actually played the old Castlevania games. I'm talking about I'm not talking about Symphony of the Night. No, I'm talking about Area of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow, because this game not only plays similar to it, but at its core, like in you know, the way that you used to craft items and whatnot, it's actually more similar to these games than any other Castlevania games. and I'm talking about Area of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow. So here, you can actually sell shards, which is kind of a neat feature, right? There's only one thing that probably people will notice it right away, that, a cost of a shard that summons bats is similar to a cost for a head flail. And from my personal experience, head flails, like, I try to fight them multiple times, and I think they don't have a really generous rate of dropping their souls, or their shards, they are called in this game. Unlike the bats, I'm actually trying my best to actually avoid them, and I don't know how many times I killed bats, but every time I kill them, they actually dropped something for me, and I acquired like 2 bat souls. And why the hell does a shard that can be dropped, generously, sells the same as a shard that does better damage and has an extremely low drop rate, sells for the same price? Why? This doesn't make any sense. I guess there's probably I don't know. There's probably a reason for that. Like, they don't want people to abuse a certain spell, because there's going to be a spell that's going to be powerful, but at the same time it's going to be, it's going to be like drop a lot. So yeah, for now, let's try and craft an item. Let's show you how can you craft an item. Of course, let's try and craft a weapon to be precise. And crafting a weapon does not. It'll only require, the main ingredient items. It doesn't require for you to actually pay money and additional money, or require alkahest or whatever that solvent was called. But yeah, if you have the ingredient, then you're good to go. You can immediately craft the weapon.
I'll go with this.
Well, let's try and craft this thorn whip.
I like it.
Cool animation and whatnot. And also, the very good thing about the really good thing about crafting here is you can actually, there's a save point nearby, and I know sometimes you want to craft a weapon that in paper it looks really good, but once you actually craft it and use it, you discover that it has like a really slow rate of fire, or it has a slow recovery, for example, has really shitty range, shitty hitbox, and whatever. So you might actually sometimes regret spending these materials, especially if they are rare, that you can use on other to craft something else. So there's a save point here, and I assume by design, so you can actually save. Try the item that you crafted. You're not satisfied with it, you can easily just reload your save, and which is something really neat. Especially, as I said before, some weapons look good on paper, but once you actually try them, they are really rubbish. Let's go ahead and take a look at how you can cook in this game. Cooking works similar to crafting weapons. You do not need to pay any additional costs other than the required materials or ingredients in this case. So let's try and make a macaroni and cheese. And there's one thing that I want you guys to notice. There's something that's called first time bonus. Now, how does this work? From what I tried, these items that you cook, these dishes that you cook, they are mainly like stat boosts, permanent stat boost items. They can heal your HP or something. There probably is gonna be some, you know, some dishes that will give you certain, you know.
Is this right? Thank you.
Will you know, give you like, will heal your wounds, or heal your mana.
Is this right? Many thanks.
You have to try these for yourself, but in this game, every dish have a first-time bonus, and first-time bonuses are pretty much permanent stat boosts.
What are we transmuting this time?
So for the macaroni and cheese, if we eat it for the first time, we'll get permanent stat boost to our luck by 3, which is something really great. So actually, if you want to boost some kind of stat, you want to boost, like usually people try to boost their luck to make the, you know, to make the enemies drop items more frequently. So you might actually try to invest in these, try to find these, and this is only a one-time stat boost. You can't actually abuse this.
I'll go with this.
Or probably fortunately.
Great.
Like boosts will boost your it'll you know, it's it is good, you know, for the you know, for game balance and whatnot. And you can see here, my luck used to be 11 and now it's 14. So and that's was a permanent stat boost. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Like in older games, like they used to have cheesecake and I don't know, cheesecake, chocolate, and lemonade, and they only serve as, you know, as healing items. But these you know, now you need to actually cook if you want to actually get stronger in this game, or you know, to actually boost your stats other than, you know, grinding and killing enemies, which is a really neat feature. This is a really neat feature. Also, we have the ability to enhance shards. In older games, you know, there's one thing that I want to talk about actually before I talk about the enhancing shard. In older Castlevania games, and then again, I'm talking about games like Area of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow. In that game, you used to acquire souls from your enemy, and each soul would give you like some kind of spell that you can actually trigger. It actually works similar to this. And like if I recall correctly, in Dawn of Sorrow, you only had like 3 types of souls, or this game called them shards. Let's call them shards here, so we don't get confused. The shards used to have like bullet shards, enchant shard, and I think the blue shards used to be called armor. I can't recall correctly what it used to call, but for the red and for the trigger, you know, here it's called trigger. For the trigger shards, it's actually like abilities, spells that you can actually use, and you can actually, you know, every shard has some, you know, different attack. Summon bat will summon you a bat. Throw axe will throw an axe. You'll actually have to try it for yourself. All the trigger shards are actually, you know, mapped to a certain button. And you'll always, like, if you press that button, you'll activate your trigger shard and whatnot. No, I want to look at my shards. Yeah, and the enchant shard is it's a shard that gives you a passive ability or a passive boost. Like this, for example, this I only found this one, and this is supposedly will increase my damage for single-handed sword and maces. So. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you the percentage that it actually it doesn't give you a percentage or anything, but
Hi, Miriam.
you'll have to try it. You'll have to, you know, try it yourself. You'll have to unequip the enchant shard. Try your weapon and then equip it again and try again. See if it's to your liking or whatnot. There also it's called here effective shard, in which blue shard, as I said before, I think it used to call armor. I'm not even certain about that name, but these shard works like this. Like once you trigger it, it'll give you like a stat boost or some. It'll boost something with you. Like it'll give you resistance to poison. It'll make you move faster. It'll boost your attacks. It'll boost your magic. Once you trigger it, and once you trigger it, it'll start consuming MP. So it's you're going to get, you know, a passive a passive stat bonus. As this ability is triggered, and it'll as it's triggered, you'll consume MP until you disable it. So this is how it used to work, and I assume I didn't find any blue shard, but I assume this is going to work the same way. There's now in this game there's two additional shards that you can equip at all time, which is really great. And one of them is the directional shard, which I think most people know about this. But the very good thing about this that you don't actually. I used to think that you'll actually need to aim to actually use this shard, but the thing that I learned playing this this particular demo, I'm positive that it works the same in the previous demo, that you can actually shoot it without aiming, which can be really good. So you can actually use the ability, use the ability with that direction. It'll automatically shoot in front of you, which is could be really good. Could be really something really good to notice. And of course, there's also the last type of shards, which is familiar, which I'm assuming I didn't find any green shards, which they are colored green, by the way. I didn't find any green shard, but I'm assuming that it's going to work like how it used to work in Symphony of the Night. If you recall, if people played that game, you had the ability to summon fairies and devils and whatnot. If I remember correctly, devils. The devil used to attack, help you attacking enemies, and the fairy used healing potions on you. So I will assume that the familiar shard will work as you will summon a monster that will accompany you at all time, and it will do whatever it do. If it'll boost your attack, if it'll attack with you, it'll actually heal you. These assuming these things that we are going to discover in the final game.
So, what will it
now, here, enhancing, let's talk about enhancing shards, or enhancing shards. In previous games, again, I'm talking about Area of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow in particular, souls, or let's call them shards. You can gain these shards from killing enemies. It has a certain drop rate, like any other item that enemy can drop. And the more shards that you have, you'll gain access to abilities, to another tier of your ability. Let's say you acquired. You have acquired, for example, 20 souls of the enemy that give you the throw axe ability. If you, for example, upgrade it to the next tier, and by acquiring more shards, it'll give you like a new feature for the weapon. Either it's going to be, you know, increased attack power, or probably you will throw the multiple axes in one spell, and so forth. You will gain a better version of the same spell. The only problem with that idea is that you will need to grind a lot to actually in the older games, of course, some enemies like has extremely low drop rate of their souls. So if you actually want to buff a certain spell, especially if you're a spell that you actually like to use a lot and you want to use the better version of it, unfortunately you will have to grind. In the older games, you had the only way for you to gain a better version of this spell is to grind your ass. And that was not fun, especially for enemies that has extremely low drop rate of their shards. So the alternative here in this game, that you can actually improve these spells or these shards by by enhancing them via ingredients, which is and hopefully, finger crossed, it won't require a lot of grinding. Hopefully. So I'm gonna show you here how enhancing an ability works. So before anything, yeah, I don't think most of these ability doesn't give you something interesting. Number of bat summon at once. Yeah, let's try and boost the summon bat ability. I don't have a bat feather, unfortunately. Yeah, as I said before, I did not kill a lot of bats. So increase the number of foes. Yeah, I think I can boost this one. Let's try and boost this bone throw. I only require bronze. So unfortunately, you can from the demo, you can actually buy these
What
ingredients
are you looking to buy?
from the shop, which is yeah. And sometimes, by the way, the shop sometimes it'll randomize its.
Is this right? Then we have a deal. Thank you.
It's stock for some reason. I noticed that multiple times. But yeah, you might actually want to, if you can't find the item that you knew that you actually saw her selling, you might actually get back, and
So, what
get back, try and talk to her again. You don't need to leave the room to trigger the stock change. Just get out of the conversation and get back in, and hopefully you'll get it back. This is probably a bug, probably. So let's go ahead and enhance our bone throw shot.
I'll go with this.
Yeah, I suppose it was better for me to actually show the rank 1 how the spell looked in rank 1, but as we can see here, now I'm throwing 2. In the first rank or in the first tier, you used to throw a single bone. Now you can throw multiple bones, which means double the damage. Assuming. So yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So yeah, enhancing shards are really something that's gonna save you from a lot of grind. Well, hopefully. And here's hoping. Finger crossed. Hopefully.
What are we transmuting
gonna be,
this time?
especially, some monster as I said before, some monster has really low drop rate of their shards or souls. So, yeah. Yeah, I think I've also covered the dismantling, so... well, there's one thing that I wanna cover, though, is... in this game, you have side quests. You can actually have side quests. Unfortunately, these side quests are fetch side quests. You actually kill X number of Y enemies, and I'll give you a reward. The only good thing about it that you can actually see what kind of reward you're getting. So, and also, actually in the quest you can access a quest menu, by the way. And that will tell you, you know, your progress if you actually got enough enemies, if you got what satisfies the quest or not, and it'll tell you right away to report to the quest giver. So it's not going to be it's gonna be one of these quests that you're going to check if you actually happen to have done it or not. If it's not interesting to you. But again, you can see the rewards. What kind of reward that the quest giver will give you. Unfortunately, like for something like cookery, I don't know what a cookery is. Actually, a cookery is actually a type of sword. It's a sword. It's a sword item in this game. So let's say that I don't know what the hell a cookery is. I'm not going to know what kind of weapon is it. Is it a sword, single-handed sword, a double-handed sword? I mean, like a bastard sword, or what kind of sword is it? What kind of stats? What kind of stats does it have? So I'm going to waste my time killing some certain number of enemies or of something that I don't know that I even want. So that's one problem with these type of quests. They should tell you what kind of reward you were getting. Like this, you will get 4 iron. That's impressive. That's good. We will be needing a lot of iron since we're going to do a lot of crafting and enhancing and whatnot. So if you see something that it's like that you can use for crafting, good, you can find it. But sometimes you'll see that it'll tell you that you'll find a weapon. You won't see its stats. You won't see what type of weapon it is until you finish that quest, which is unfortunate. Also, there's something that I actually noticed here, that since it's actually every quest tells you that it's given by a certain character. This character name is Lindsay. She located in Arvindvale. That there's a possibility that we'll be actually seeing more than one quest giver in this game, and hopefully it's not going to be like a fetch quest. Hopefully there's going to be a variety of these kind of quests. Like I remember in the Order of Collegia, it had a lot of side quests that game. And if I remember correctly, most of them were fetch quests, boring fetch quests, and you don't know what the reward is. That's the problem. It's the same problem. Hopefully they'll improve on that. Hopefully they'll improve on the type of quest you will get in this game. So I'd say hopefully. I'm not hoping for that much, but hey, you should hope for the best always. There's one thing that also I hope that actually, but I assume it's going to be available in the final product, which is a bestiary. In the older games, like if you want to find a certain type of monster, in the older games it used to give you like really important information. How many HP does it have? What kind of ability does it resist? Has a resistance? So some kind of elements, like it has resistance to fire, to holy magic, or something like that, or it has weaknesses to these type of elements. The bestiary used to tell you. These important information, and also not only that, there are also important information that the bestiary used to tell you what if the monster has something to drop. Like in the older games, used to tell you if an enemy has something to drop, and not only that, it'll tell you if it's going to drop something, if it's going to drop something common or is it going to be rare. Like sometimes if you want to see if you encountered an enemy and you found out that you can actually make this enemy, you know, you found a fast way to make this enemy respawn, you know, a really good location to farm these monsters. So you tell yourself, does this monster has anything useful that I can make it drop? And this is where you actually go and look at your bestiary. In this game, or at least in this demo, the bestiary is lacking. It's not there. We don't have a bestiary in this game, but as I'm seeing here, you can see this completion rate. You can see devils, and hopefully that means that you can actually have access. As I said here, I can't access. The only thing that I can access here is the quest. But I don't know. I have no access to the bestiary whatsoever. So hopefully, there's going to be a way in the final game where you can actually can access a bestiary. You can access, you know, some kind of infos of certain enemies, and like, is it resistant to fire? Is it weak to fire? Does it have an item to drop? Is it rare? Is it not rare? Is it common? These kind of information used to be in the older game. Used to be available in the older games. Let's hope that it is available here. Like, I don't need to actually access a wiki online to actually find if this enemy has something to drop, or I would know its weaknesses and whatnot. So hopefully this is gonna be available in the full version. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Like, if you guys actually used to play a lot of Castlevania, I'm talking about people that used to play Area of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow a lot. Let me tell you, this game plays like similar to it. Especially, I'm talking about the core crafting, boosting shards, boosting souls, which you used to call in the older games. This game plays just like how the older games used to play, and that's a really good thing. In my book, that's a really good thing. That's a really positive thing. That is unfortunately something that you won't discover until you play, you try this particular demo. Like in the previous demo, you couldn't access shops and whatnot. You couldn't craft. You couldn't do anything other than playing in that small playthrough of in the ship. And that's about it. There's no, you can't discover a whole lot about this game, which is hopefully this video accomplished this. Hopefully you guys that you don't have access to this demo, which is a shame. I hope they will make this demo available to the public, because I think this demo can sell people. I think that this demo can sell people to buy this game. It's fun. You can actually have like multiple hours like going around discovering, trying to do a lot of things, crafting, checking out some items, some shards, how if you boost them, how well they work. You can explore there. The area that this demo gives is kind of generously big, for a demo, so you can actually waste a lot of time enjoying this game. And for those who actually stuck with the video and they're not exactly Castlevania fans, and they are interested in Bloodstained. How's it going, motherfuckers? Welcome to the hood. Welcome to the neighborhood. These Castlevania games are a lot of fun, and if you tried this demo, or for some reason, if you actually watched a lot of this game, and you are interested in playing something similar, I highly recommend that you actually go and visit Area of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow and try to play these games. These games are easy to if you don't have the hardware, if you don't have a Game Boy or a DS, it is easily you can easily emulate it on any machine, any computer. The game is available anywhere. If it's not available in your local store, hopefully it is available online, if you know what I mean. And there's no shame in playing good games. Don't be ashamed of playing good games that you can't have access to, especially if I'm talking, legit. If you don't have access to Area of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, and you want to try them, and you don't have access to them, it is easily acquired. You can easily acquire it, play it, enjoy it, and hopefully, we'll have a small taste of what Bloodstained is going to be. Like as I said before, it's Bloodstained plays a lot like Area of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, and this is a really good thing. This is a really, really fun game. Hopefully everyone will be able to enjoy it, hopefully soon this year, hopefully. Anywho, this is gonna be it for me. Hopefully I try to keep this video as brief as possible and as informative and objective as possible. So hopefully you guys, find this video useful, and I'll check you guys later. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.